Last night, two children were shot and killed. I was woken up at 11 o'clock at night, and I went to the hospital and left at 1 a.m. I share the community's outrage of this senseless violence and gross indifference to human life. I'm confident that the Trenton Police and the Mercer County Prosecutor's Office will be thoroughly investigating this horrendous crime, and that we have to do better. And I think the message really needs to go out to the younger generation, and that they have to decide what kind of city they want to inherit, and we have to find ways to avoid gang violence and also resolving differences in the neighborhoods. This crime is still under investigation. The short end is that we just don't know what happened. Police are piecing that together, but we really need to gather as a community. These senseless violence just can't continue, whether it's COVID or not related.
First, I want to extend my condolences to the Perez family. As the mayor said, this should not happen to any of our youth. I just don't know what is next for our youth. We had a 12-year-old that was shot on the playground where she should have felt safe. Now we have an 8-year-old and a 16-year-old that were killed in their home. What is next? What is next? As a police department, we are out there doing what we're supposed to be doing. We are the enforcement branch, as you all know. We've moved into the arena of trying to prevent as many crimes as possible, but even on the enforcement end, our enforcement is lacking, and I will say that. And yes, it was COVID-driven. Last year, this same time, we had made over 5,000 arrests. This year, we've only made 3,100 arrests, because there was a period of time where we were not allowed to arrest people. And during that time, crime was allowed to flourish in this city. Once we were able to make arrests again, unfortunately, the crime had already started to rise. We've been trying to play catch up ever since then. I'm proud of the work that the men and the women of the Trenton Police Department do on a daily basis. But I agree with the residents, we could do so much more. And I'm asking and demanding so much more from them. If this city is going to turn around and become safe, it won't just be because of the actions or the non-actions of the Trenton Police Department. It's the only way the Trenton Police Department would be able to accomplish that single-handedly is if we had a police officer on every corner. And then we would be living in a police state. I don't think any of us want that. But if that's what's needed, then maybe that's what we should do in Trenton. I came to a city that was filled with pride and loved to roll the word Trentonian off their tongues. I'm not seeing a lot of pride. And I think I said the same thing a couple of months ago. If it takes a village to raise a kid, it takes a village to protect our kids. Where is the village? Where is the village? So many people out there know so much more than what it is that they report. And if you're fearful of reporting crime, I understand that too. But then we have the anonymous tip lines. Everyone has a friend that's on the police department or a firefighter. There's some way that you can get that information to us without putting yourself at risk. So I'm taking ownership for the actions and non-actions alike of my police department. But I'm imploring upon all of you to let's also take ownership of your actions and inactions. Let's put our differences aside, our personal likes and dislikes aside. Let's figure out together how to move this city forward.
One other thing is that the state is supposed to release 3,000 early release prisoners between November and January. Trenton is expected to absorb 300, so we have to prepare for that as well. We hope the majority of the returning citizens are able to lead back to productive lives, but we need the resources for housing, job training, substance abuse, and the like.
There was at least a 3 to 4 month period where we were not making arrests due to the pandemic, and I strongly believe that that's in the charts prove it to be true, that that's when our crime started to rise. Once we were able to start making arrests again, it was like we were trying to get our arms back around a bear, and we're still trying to catch up. And I believe that that 4 month period when we were not able to make arrests, and on top of that, the number of parolees and people on probation that were released early due to the pandemic back into the area and are not being properly supervised, all of that add to the increase of violence in with our inability to make arrests at the time.
All right, I think that's it, folks. Thank you for coming by.
Oh, if I could just give out the confidential tip line for those people who would like to confidentially give information regarding this incident of violence or any other, please dial 609-989-3663. That's 609-989-3663. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you, counsel. Oh, Jarrell Blakely is here.